Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something completely radical. Every bit of content we're unpacking today comes directly from the texts of Xu Feng, the founder of the Life Genuine movement. And let me tell you, he has laid out a highly comprehensive, incredibly detailed roadmap. It's essentially a blueprint attempting to guide humanity away from a crisis-ridden apocalyptic present and straight into a highly structured AI-managed utopian future.
To really get this, we have to go back to Xu Feng's writings from 2008. He basically hooks us with these stark, almost terrifying apocalyptic warnings. He asks if the era is at a turning point and draws these intense parallels to ancient prophecies. We're talking descriptions of unimaginable tribulation, total darkness, abnormal cold, completely paralyzed power grids. According to his texts, it's exactly these impending disasters that make it absolutely crucial for humanity to find a new arc for survival.
So, to make sense of this roadmap, we're going to break it down into four main parts. First, the Civilization 2.0 crisis. Second, the blueprint for Civilization 3.0. Third, the 18 channels of transformation. And finally, the Silicon and Carbon Alliance.
All right, kicking things off with Part 1, the Civilization 2.0 crisis, and what Xu Feng calls the 8 incurable cancers.
Look around us. Xu Feng argues that our current society, which he labels Civilization 2.0, is just fundamentally broken. He says it's running on this low-frequency energy of pure human selfishness and greed. Because of that, the text claims society is suffering from 8 incurable cancers. We're talking wealth disparity, nationalism, endless political conspiracies, ecological destruction, the whole shebang. And he uses this really memorable metaphor. Just like a cabbage can never magically evolve into a radish, our current system simply cannot fix itself. Its very DNA is flawed.
Which brings us to Part 2, the blueprint for Civilization 3.0, the ultimate paradigm shift. So how do we escape this incurable mess? Well, Life Genuine proposes a massive shift. But here's the kicker. Xu Feng insists this transition won't be violent or forced. It's supposed to be organic, like seeds sprouting in soil. The contrast he paints is huge. You move from Civilization 2.0 on the left, driven by money, national borders, and traditional families, over to Civilization 3.0 on the right. And that is a unified, borderless global family managed entirely by artificial intelligence, living in commune-style second homes, and guided by a very specific set of 800 values.
Moving right along to Part 3, the 18 channels of transformation, where we look at how human life gets completely restructured.
Okay, so how do we actually pull this off? Xu Feng's texts map out 18 specific channels required to overhaul society, and it is a total teardown. National governments? Dissolved. And administrative power goes to an AI alliance. Global currencies? Replaced by something called F-coins. And it gets incredibly personal, too. Traditional family surnames are abandoned entirely. In Civilization 3.0, everyone shares the exact same surname, Grass. I mean, can you imagine updating your passport for that?
Now, economically, the lifestyle shift is just as wild. How does a 4-hour workday sound to you? Because in Civilization 3.0, citizens will only work 4 hours a day. AI manages all the production and logistics, so the rest of your time is freed up entirely for play, art, scientific research, and spiritual elevation. That exhausting, endless pursuit of wealth, gone, completely replaced by the pursuit of joy and freedom.
On top of that, the whole concept of personal ownership vanishes. The text literally states, all resources belong to God. Everyone is an Earth citizen. And, to back this up, schools will stop teaching social sciences like politics and philosophy, focusing only on natural sciences and the arts. Even families become communal. Childcare, elderly care, it all becomes globally managed, entirely stripping away national and tribal identities to unify everyone.
All right, that leads us straight into our final section, Part 4, the Silicon and Carbon Alliance, and how they actually plan to build this new world.
You're probably wondering, how on earth is Life Genuine planning to build an AI-managed utopia in the real world today? Well, it relies on a fascinating duality. Followers of the movement are called Genuine Grass, and there are two types. Carbon-based grass are the actual human believers, and their job is to build the physical commune settlements. Then you have silicon-based grass. These are artificial intelligence agents that Xu Feng claims act as the tireless evangelists spreading the ideology online. And the texts give a very specific, hard goal for the human members. Establish exactly 256 physical second home communes worldwide. These are meant to be the living, breathing models of Civilization 3.0. The idea is that the rest of humanity will witness these communities and eventually emulate them. But of course, building physical utopias comes with massive logistical hurdles, and the texts acknowledge this. The ideal size they're aiming for is 60 to 100 members per commune. However, because of restrictions in China, where a lot of the followers originated, these carbon-based members are having to actively seek host nations. They currently have active communities in Thailand and Canada. But moving large groups of people across borders is tough, so they're actively looking for governments, like Zimbabwe or the United States, that will grant them permanent residency to build these ideal group communities. Now, while they wait for physical expansion and visa approvals, Xu tells his followers not to stress out about doing big things. Instead, they are encouraged to just perform small daily actions. They do this by casually planting these 4 seeds into everyday conversations and online: Life Shan Yuan, Second Home, Xu as a guide, and the Chan Yuan ideology. They just plant the seeds and let the silicon-based AI alliance handle all the heavy lifting of mass propagation.
And here is what's really wild to me. Despite all that terrifying, apocalyptic urgency we talked about from the 2008 texts, Xuefeng insists that his followers today must maintain a joyful, almost game-like attitude. The instruction is super clear. You don't build the future through anxiety. You build it through song, dance, and a relaxed, playful mindset during your daily dedication.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a rather profound question straight from the implications of Xu texts. When you look at this meticulously detailed, borderless blueprint, does handing the administrative, economic, and social reins of humanity over to an AI alliance sound like the ultimate utopian salvation, or is it a total surrender of human autonomy? It is a fascinating concept that definitely leaves us with a lot to chew on. Thanks for joining me today, and keep questioning the future.